umpteenth take with waptek. Here we go. The mythology of shotguns. Of course a 12-gauge pistol is more powerful than a full-length barrel that's street legal that you can get cheaply, really cheaply, and be able to do. Of course a homemade, you-made-it gun is going to be more deadly than a real gun made to actually hunt deer and elk or rhinoceros. Not a different configuration. Let's just get on with this. Let's just do this. A lot of people like the idea of the hand cannon. This is the meme where you take out a PUBG orange plastic toy gun, make it into a metal gun, and put a 12-gauge shotgun shell in it. You know, Magnum. That actually means something if you actually look it up. I had to go look up the meaning and get a complete answer. But is it really more powerful than using an equivalent-sized, real, street-legal, you don't have to break any rules or push any boundaries, triggered, literally and figuratively, gun? Is a pistol somehow magically more powerful than a real gun? Yes, a shotgun pistol is fun, it's cool looking, it's an anachronism in that it shouldn't be like that, but it does exist. So let's talk about the half-inch diameter slug shotgun that is the Desert Eagle. There's reasons for these things, so let's get on with it. If a 410 shotgun cartridge has these diameters for the chamber, let's talk about diameters for it. Now we're going to start cheap and go up because people want to make a handgun themselves out of something inadequate like sewer pipe steel or structural steel pipe tubing, and it's somehow going to be a hand cannon. So we're going to do the 410 because we can compare 410 to 410 sort of bullets because it exists. You already know where this came from. Let's say it's 0.481 inches at one of the cartridge dimensions and 0.470 at another. And then the bore that is the declared diameter is 0.41, aka that's why it's called a 410 shotgun. 41 caliber. Oh, okay. Well, it's a shotgun. Yeah, you can put spaghetti rounds in. You can get straight bore shotguns that don't have the 410 diameter. They're actually the diameter of the ass end of the shell. That's a pipe gun. So you can get away with putting in really long cartridges or jam something in there that'll come out of it. That's actually the reason people think of homemade guns as being able to do this. You can do Tauflader Mouse style improvised rounds and see what happens. You can make a giant blank shell out of one and load literally a chunk of metal in it and see what happens. But there's a reason for this. The Desert Eagle. Go to a range and rent a Desert Eagle and fire it. That is a real hand cannon in this diameter. Now we're only doing 41 caliber. 12 gauge shotguns are 81 caliber, 82 caliber declared diameter of the back end of the bullet. It's actually a 73 caliber gun. The Tyrannosaur cartridge is a 60 caliber, okay? We're already up in the range where you're dealing with not handgun or hand cannon, but handbreaker. Let's go on. The 410 has those dimensions for the chamber dimensions, large to small. The 12 gauge is 0.811 or 0.812, depending on, whether they're made loose or tight. It really depends on the design. Some of them are made slightly looser. They expand suddenly to fill in the gas check, and then they're good. Remember that when we talk about real bullets. Schedule 40 pipe shotgun. 3/8 inch declared size is based on the outside diameter after threading or something. I can't get a straight answer out of it. Its outer diameter is actually 0.675 inches declared for 3/8 inch. The inner diameter, however, is 0.493 inch. Now that is loose fit for a 410 shotgun shell. The 3/4 inch Schedule 40 3/4 inch pipe has a little over a 1 inch diameter outer diameter and has a 0.824 inch inner diameter. It will chamber a shotgun shell without any modifications, but it's a little loose. The 1 inch Schedule 40 pipe will almost but not quite fit over it, as it has an inner diameter that's a little bit smaller than the outer diameter of the other pipes. And each of these can nest within each other, so you can use these as the basis for making a loose fit, badly designed gun. Next, Schedule 80 XHY grade pipe. We're only doing 3/4 inch here. Its outer diameter is still 1.05 inches for 3/4 inch. This would be your shotgun barrel. Its inner diameter is 0.742 inches, which means you'd have to drill out a proper chamber. It's a thicker barrel, but you're still going to drill out the same diameter. But now it'll fit perfectly if you use a proper bore. That's a 13/16 drill. And its inner diameter is 0.74. It's a 74 caliber inner diameter. It's a little bit larger than the declared 73 or 72 caliber you're supposed to use as the maximum bore diameter for a 12 gauge. Schedule 160 pipe has the same outside diameter, but we're going to use the 1 inch diameter because suddenly the 1 inch diameter is the 3/4. You get the idea. They change up what they call it. Its outer diameter is 1.05 inches. The inner diameter on it is exactly 0.815 inches inner diameter, which means it can again, now we have a chamber that can chamber the shell easily. Is a straight bore, and its Schedule 160 1 inch pipe will act as a perfectly functional and serviceable and safe barrel. The rest of the gun is your problem to build, but as we've seen, you can get away with using other pipe types, like the Schedule 40 pipe over the top of it. Even though they both say they're 1 inches, they're obviously not 1 inch. It'll be a thin sheath casing or a bed for you to have a creak up, creak down, proper shotgun. Evolution of proper designs. Slamming pipes together is not a shotgun or rifle or pistol proper. It just isn't. Now, why did I list all of that? If you get stainless steel pipe tubing, it may be a different declaration. You can actually look it up by inner diameter. Outer diameter is all you're supposed to look it up for pipe because it carries fluid, a bunch of stuff. But this is your $12 gun. If you really wanted to do it, that's the 7-minute mark about that. Now, why am I telling you about this? A Schedule 160 pipe is safe. Schedule 80 might be safe. Schedule 40 is very dicey, especially if you have to drill, grind, heat treat, all of these things. Yeah. A 12 gauge barrel is $90 off the internet. It already works, it's already been tested, and you can specify the one that has the largest chamber diameter and magnum grade, $90. Not to do something dangerous and in California technically illegal because you're making something that's dangerous to the user. Now let's talk about slightly different information. Now for something not so completely different. Tube is measured by the outside diameter and pipe is measured by the inside diameter. No. Engineering books get this wrong. Structural member tubing is supposed to be measured to exact diameters and tolerances, and they're much tighter than they are for gas or fluid transport because you can just kind of fudge those numbers. But is pipe measured outside or inside? And the fact is that every engineering book makes a declaration about this and gets it wrong. You have to look it up from each source. Structural pipe is supposed to be measured, honestly, by the interior, but it's almost exclusively done by the outside. And we use a British primer in America, and the Brits use an American primer, the inventor. So let's talk about hand cannons. Now, again, I just described all the materials and stuff. There's the data. I did all the legwork for you. And, of course, another manufacturer website is going to have them different diameters, and you're going to still have to do some drilling and milling. All right? Schedule 40, Schedule 80, and Schedule 160. A big difference. We're doubling each time, but we can do that. Okay, now let's get back to hand cannon. Now remember, I'm starting with a 410 41 caliber bore shotgun and the 45 long Colt. It's actually just Colt, but we'll call it the LC or long Colt. Maximum chamber pressures. Pistol, literally a pistol caliber versus shotgun. By the way, because it has the same weird little rim on the outside of it, they can be kind of chambered with each other. Which is better? Do you put the long Colt into a shotgun or the shotgun shell into a long Colt? The PSI rating for a long Colt is much lower than it is for a shotgun. 410 shotgun is 18,000 PSI. The 14,000 PSI 45 long Colt means that they're different in pressure level maximums. Now that doesn't mean you're going to have those, but that does mean you need to look for a very high pressure pistol at bare minimum. And remember, most of them are not semi-autos because of that rimmed bottom. So you can't do the shotgun shell thing, which relies on it going doink and then stopping because of the rim. By the way, they now have the same thickness rim, so that's not an issue, so just don't break it up. The long Colt bullet is 1,100 feet per second, and the 410 slug goes 1,700. It's 100 and some odd grains, and the other one, the bullet, is 160 grain. The diameter of the 410 slug is actually 410, or 41 caliber. The 45 caliber is 45 caliber. It's bigger. So they cost about the same. So it would seem, since you have a bigger bullet, you could do that. What's the shell casing shapes? Here we go with the compatibility issues. Now, right now we are at the point that a high pressure version of the pistol might be able to handle shotgun shells. And I looked for literally the shortest ones I could get my hands on to look up the data on. I looked up short, really short, 410 shotgun shells and overpressure Colt. Well, no, but yeah, I really did. And this was the best comparison I could find for getting feet per second out of it. But let's talk about the rim sizes. Let's talk dimensions. Let's see if we can do what they did with only 2 guns on the market to handle both of these. That go for $300 damn. Case length. The 410 shell minimum is 2.5 inches. Maximum case length for the Colt, 1.6. The base diameter for the chamber, the minimum size you have to do to make a pipe gun for a Colt, is 0.48. It's 0.47 for a shotgun shell that's 410. What about the rim diameter? Shotgun shells have a 53 caliber diameter rim. We're just going to say 0.53. The only thing close to that is actually, well, the Colt's pretty close. It's 51 caliber for the rim. It's a little bit smaller rim. The Smith & Wesson Magnum, 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum, Wesson oil, is a 52 rim, and it's 0.478. Very close to the Colt, but a little bit too big for a shotgun shell. All of them are, including the 454 Cazul based on the 455 Colt. So, but the Cazul comes in at 1.3 or longer. So if you could get a Cazul based hand cannon, the Helsing Arms semi-auto auto-freak, anti-freak semi-auto combat pistol from a movie, a video game, a 16-inch long barrel. It's literally a hand cannon. It would be, if it was 18 inches, or actually if it was 26 inches long overall, it would literally, I will build one of these days. All of these have trouble feeding into a magazine. So make them like a shotgun and have tube magazine? Okay, a modified 410 firing these. Now you've gone from making a hand cannon that you can't build because the things won't work or they'll jam, to making literally a 410 shotgun shell. And again, these are still not the same as a 50 caliber Smith & Wesson or whatever the hell it is, whatever you get your hands on, or the Desert Eagle, which is a different one. The 500 Smith & Wesson is another one. That's a revolver. Revolvers are the exception. You can get a revolver to fire all sorts of weird shit. You can even put moon clips on it to force it to do it. There's even a revolver that comes with each of the chambers being a different freaking chambering and fires through basically just an open port at the front. Making it a shotgun doesn't make it a more powerful round, even if it's a shotgun shell. You can take any of these cartridges and just load them up with shot. So they do spread and they have a higher hit probability. The 45 Colt and long Colt are the same exact round. Just remember that. And remember, any cartridge that's used in a pistol can be converted to a shotgun by just loading it with a kit. Yes, you can take 45 or whatever and just use the pieces out of a 410 shotgun shell and just fire shotgun material. You don't have to look for a hand cannon. You just buy one. The pistols are prohibitively expensive, and unless they're revolvers, and then suddenly it's a very practical item, but you only get 6 shots and you don't have a magazine you can pop out. You have to pop out the cylinder, or buy a 410 shotgun and just load it with slugs. Those were slug velocities and impact ratings. 12 gauge shotgun barrel only $90, $91 for an entire 410 shotgun. 12 gauge break action shotgun for $115, $142 for 12 gauge pump action. The $163 combination 22 and 410 exists. There's a $250 410 pump action, so just do the 12 gauge. 410 and 45 long Colt is $300. For $480, you can get a 12 gauge break open pistol. It's a muzzle loader. It's an actual hand cannon. Or you can make one for $15 and take your chances. Or a Desert Eagle for $1,000. Pick your poison and your outcomes. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. This has been a primer on the waste of time. Bye.